Hello, and welcome back to the Unmasking Motherhood podcast. If you're new here, I'm Beth Moore, your mom bestie and soul guide. And if you're unfamiliar with my work, my journey, my mission is to walk women back to a remembrance, specifically mothers, a remembrance of who they are, and help them create a motherhood where they don't lose themselves along the way. And in fact, invite them into getting to know the capital T truest version of themselves. I believe motherhood is the best kept secret and just a hidden gem of a journey to refine us and to connect us with who we authentically are and who we came here to be. And that's not the picture of motherhood I was given, and only through my stumbling into motherhood and my messy journey throughout have I come to this conclusion. And so I want to share it, whether it's through my podcast, my mom's groups, my coaching, just social media, wherever. So I'm really glad you're here. Thank you for watching. You know, today I just want to do a heart-to-heart conversation as if we're friends and we're hanging out. Because if you are a mom, you're my friend. And I see you, I get you. We're in a no judgment zone with each other. We each have our certain reasons for doing things. We each have our own paths that brought us to motherhood and our own journey that we're on with motherhood. And so we need each other, and we need walls down and like kindness up and compassion. And so I share this topic because it's something that can A, pit a lot of moms against each other, and B, create a lot of inner turmoil with mothers within themselves. And we just don't need either of those. Am I right? And the topic is this. It's around your career and your own personal interests and hobbies and how that shifts and what you decide to do while your kids are in the home. Now, I know that this topic can be, so if you're feeling that right now, maybe you're in a personal reckoning or about to have a baby or just like feeling a lot of guilt about your current situation or anger, let's just take a deep breath together right now. It's going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. But this topic comes up so often in my realm of friends, and also is something that I know so many moms don't talk about, how much they struggle with feeling selfish, feeling guilty for having their own desires, or feeling angry or resentful with where they are within their career or lack thereof, because for whatever reason, maybe they're working more or working less than they were before becoming a mom. Maybe they've had to let personal interests and hobbies completely fall away, and that's a whole thing. Or maybe they do have them and do have a career, one of those two, but they feel like they just can't do it all well. They can't do it all right. They're letting someone down. They're not the best version of themselves in all the places and spaces, and it's just like so much going on in here. This is like what it's like. Like there's always voices. And then there's also literally voices out here from society, from family, from social media of like what a good mom is and what a good mom would do and what you should do those first 3 years and what you should do while your kids are at home. And they're so all over the place. Like if you haven't noticed, there's like, follow your dreams. Your kids need to see you doing this and this. And like, or no, you need to be home with your children because like, you know, all the research of this shows that your children will be more resilient. They need this mom at home. And it's like, oh my God, the pressure. So that's why I just wanted to come on and have a conversation and share a little bit about my own journey and some thoughts here just to open this dialogue, let you, the listener, know that you're not the only one struggling with these things, and there's no shame in feeling them. There's nothing wrong with you. Talk about it, like move through it. It's all normal, and you have a permission slip for it to be messy right now. And yeah, that's what I'm really all about, permission slips for moms. So yeah, leading up to motherhood, I was working 2 jobs. Both of them were part-time, and had some, hobbies and interests before pregnancy, and was also pursuing a certification in coaching at the time. So safe to say I had a full load of just things on my plate. And then when I say stumbled into motherhood, it was like unexpectedly got pregnant at the end of our first year of marriage, and was like, WTF, this is not the plan that I had. You ever been there in life where you're like, thought you were going to go one way and then a major curveball happened? Now I am a little bit better at those, but back then, especially with the curveball of finding out I was pregnant, it really hit me like a ton of bricks and shifted the trajectory of my life, the work I do, the person that I am, and I believe all for the better. And looking back, I'm like, would never have planned that, and so glad it happened. You know what I mean? Sometimes the things you don't plan end up being the biggest transformational journeys in your life. So needless to say, when it came time to have my first, and I did decide to shift into primarily staying at home, felt that strong pull, it did come with a lot of resentment, and I really fought tooth and nail. Honestly, I'm only 6.5 years in. I still notice glimpses of this, so I'm always real. I'm not I've arrived. I've made it to some perfect place of being completely free of holding on to the past. And that's just a personal struggle of mine. So when it came to motherhood and realizing, oh my God, I'm not only just a completely new person, but my life has changed 1,000%. And now I'm 24/7 pouring into another human, breastfeeding, co-sleeping. It's hard to just walk away and go do your thing, right? It was really painful. And so a part of my experience with holding on to something has been equal parts important for me to have my own identity in motherhood. And also, I don't like the saying harmful, but it hasn't been always helpful. Because it's been I need to hold on to this because that kind of energy behind it, because this kid or this new lifestyle took so much from me, so I deserve this, that kind of, you know what I'm saying? So I just share this because if you've ever felt that way, motherhood really swept you off your feet in this beautiful but insane way where you're I don't even know who I am anymore. I just want to hold on to a semblance of me, whether it's through my workout class or my friend group or my job, just to have a moment to be me. I see you. I get you. And I think it's so important that we are honest with ourselves about what's going on beneath the surface. That we do regular check-ins, maybe it's quarterly, maybe it's monthly, about how we're doing. This can look like continuing to see a therapist or finding one that specializes in maternal mental health. It can look like journaling. It can look like taking a walk with yourself. And the reason I say this is because the things that we don't let out will show up in emotional outbursts, will show up in our body. It'll show up. And so the big thing I want to name here is that in order to step into talking about it, journaling about it, we have to unshame the feelings that are going on that are very complicated. It's you can hold 2 truths at the same time, that you love being a mom and it also is really effing hard, or that you love being home with your kids but you miss working outside the home. And the more we go inward and reflect and pause and get really, really honest, and that can be very much a courageous thing because it's so vulnerable. We have to go deep, deep, deep above that surface level stuff to get to the capital T truth of what's going on within us. And that's really easy to avoid through like zoning out, staying busy, anxiety, just creating drama in our lives, whatever. But we deserve that, and our kids deserve for us to know who we are and to know what's going on within us. Like the family can feel that tension. And so whatever season you're in, be there because you want to be. And sometimes it's not an ideal situation, whatever that can be. I'm speaking about like you've turned inward and you've decided, okay, this may not be where I want to be forever, but it's where I choose to be now. And you have that like resolution within yourself. And then through that internal processing or coaching or therapy, journaling, you can also journey enough with that to know what other things you can do and to support yourself, to create around you, because that's so important. Like the season that you're in right now is definitely not the season you'll be in forever. All my moms of like teenagers or their empty nesters that are watching, they know this. And that's only a perspective that you really can like soak in until you've experienced it. But if you're an intentional and a heart-centered mom, if you're watching this, you probably are. I know you like feel that deep down. This is just a season. This is just a season. And so how can I make peace with this season, really come to terms with it, and normalize the guilt, the messiness, the struggle of it, and then also create ways to fulfill ourselves within it? Because it may not be ideal. It may not be picture perfect. Is it ever really? But also, we deserve to not just stuff ourselves away for the season of motherhood, or the other extreme, like not abandon motherhood, but like avoid the responsibility to just not really be with the responsibility that it is. You know, both ends. So like be with it. Being with it is brave. Being with it is loving. And just talking to someone, I think, is the biggest thing that I think we can all do as moms. Maybe that's me. Maybe it's a mom group in your community. Maybe it's a social media platform. And maybe it's a therapist or your journal. There's nothing wrong with you. It's okay to be like, I don't know what I want. And you know, where I am today, 6.5 years in, looks very different. I'm working about 20 to 25 hours a week. I've had these ideas over the years of like missing work. And so this is the most I've worked since becoming a mom. And then, so I work 20 to 25 hours a week outside the home for a corporation. And then I also have my business that I do from home. But, you know, I'm in a different phase. I have almost 3-year-old, a 6.5-year-old, family support around us now, and my oldest is in school. What I was getting at, though, is for years, I let this fantasy or romanticized version of who I hoped I could be in motherhood and who I really did. It felt like a pure desire at the time, but at the end of the day, it was like this bar too high for who I really am. And it was around being a stay-at-home mom full time, being a homeschool mom. I actually tried on many different little things, and it's beautiful because to a fault, I really want to be authentically myself and like feel into like these different identities or try them on for my children and what I think is best. But it ultimately, in that stage or that season, it ended up not working out. So what did we do? We course corrected. We shifted. And that's something that through this message, I wanted to make sure I told you too, that it's okay to make a decision, just to try it, because you feel like that's where you're meant to go. And then if it doesn't work out, make a change. Maybe you just end up realizing where you were before is fine. It's okay to experiment because you won't know until you do it a lot of the time. So permission slip there as well. Okay, let me check my notes I made for this because I just want to make sure I share everything. yeah, let's just take the pressure off of ourselves to like be the best mom ever, and to take the pressure off to like mess up our children from the current life phase that we're in. A lot of moms think it's selfish to stay at home, not stay at home, do the hobby, do this thing for themselves. And I'm like, that just has to go. Permission slip granted to like let that shit go. Write it on a piece of paper tonight, tear it up, burn it in a fire, whatever you need to do. And yeah, ask the brave question, get honest with yourself. And maybe it just starts with, if you are unhappy or restless in this current season or feel like something's off, it just starts with that question of like, what part of me is unsettled right now? What part of me is unsettled right now? Because it's just a part of you and it needs to be heard. And the longer that it goes unheard, the louder it will become. So that's all I have for now. Thank you for watching. I send you a hug or like a high five if we were in person of like, you're doing great. You're doing great. Just keep exploring on the journey, keep rocking it in motherhood, and lean on support to get through, because we're not meant to do it alone. I know you know that. Just don't forget it. Okay, lots of love. Until next time.